Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retrodome. Today we're going to review the final standings, statistics, and do a season recap of the 1984 season. I did an as-play replay, which means that I played exactly the 1984 schedule. I managed the Angels, and the other teams were computer managed. But all of the teams utilized the lineups, transactions, and starting rotations from the '84 season. Um, so let's see how it all played out. Just completed the last games on the schedule, so this is the September recap. I have not played the postseason yet. That'll be a separate video. But let's jump right in here to the season overview and see the final standings. Also, as I'm playing as the Angels, I'm going to keep track of my record versus the actual team record to see if I can outmanage uh, the the manager from a given season. Um, as you can see here, we've got the Tigers winning the American League East as they did in 1984. We actually had three of the four division winners basically um, match up with their actual results, other than obviously the win-loss record is different, but they won their divisions. So Detroit, 104 wins. The Yankees won 100 games but finished 4 games back. Yankees with a plus 250 run differential, and the Tigers with a 231, both excellent. Toronto with a 156, that's also great. They won 93. Um, Almost all of the teams in the East finished above 500, with the exception of the Brewers, who lost 101 games. So you can see here, Orioles, Red Sox, Indians, all posting records above the 500 mark. And yeah, the Brewers negative 234 run differential. That will not usually work out in your favor when that happens. Okay, over in the AL West, again, pretty similar to the final standings in that division, at least the top two. The Royals, 83 victories, taking the division by 5 games over my Angels. You can see here the thumbs up icon indicates that it's human managed. So I finished, I believe the Angels were 81 and 81 that year. So I finished 3 games worse than they did. A little bit disappointed with how that played out. Um, but again, within a reasonable range. I didn't totally tank the team, so um, and we had some positives, which we'll review in a moment here. The rest of the division sub 500. The West was pretty terrible. All right, over in the NL East, the Cubs uh, edged the Cardinals by 4.5 and the Expos by 5. Cubs with 90 victories, and the Mets a disappointing fourth. Um, they finished 78 and 80. So the Phillies and the Pirates also sub 500 in the NL East. And this is the only division where we had a different winner than real life. We've got the Astros with a 6-game margin of victory over the Padres, where the Padres were the actual winners in the West in '84. So we'll have to see what the Astros did slightly differently to win the division here. The Padres, 84 victories, but a bit of a disappointment here. The Braves, just over 500, and then we had the Dodgers, Giants, and Reds. So let's take a look at the leaderboard. Got Don Mattingly leading the way with a 348 batting average, as he did in real life. Kirby Puckett second with a 336, followed by Willie Wilson, Dave Winfield, Jack Perconte. I'm not going to read off all these guys. You can see them on the screen here. Let me scroll up a little bit there. Tony Armas led the league with 44 jacks, as he did in real life. I think he had 43. Donnie Baseball, RBI lead with 130. And you can see who's rounding out the top 5 here. Okay, scroll down. NL batting, Tony Gwynn, 338 average. Not really a shocker there. What is a bit of a surprise here, Mookie Wilson with a 325 average. These other guys are generally up in the contending for a batting title as well, so we're not going to too much into that. Gary Carter, though, second, 331 average. Michael Jack Schmidt leads the league in home runs and RBIs. No surprise there. What's a bit of a surprise to me is the 2 through 5 here, with only 24, 23 homers. So a little bit home runs were suppressed a bit in this replay. We've got Jose Cruz here, 119 RBIs, so that definitely helped the Astros with the division title. Alright, so here's one of my shining moments. We got Mike Witt with league-leading 2.36 ERA, and he's 19 victories as well. Doyle Alexander second with a 2.41, and he had 20 wins for Toronto. And then a couple of Royals here, Gubiza and Black in ERA, and Burt Blyleven rounding out the top 5. Wins, we also have Hoyt, Morris, and Viola with 19 apiece. Save leader, Willie Hernandez, 29, which, again, he was excellent in 1984, so that would be an expected. Maybe his total should have been a little bit higher. I did find about midway through the year that I needed to specify my bullpen roles in the manager profile. I didn't mention it earlier, but I am using Digital Diamond version 12.1, and some of the computer managers weren't using an optimal bullpen configuration when I allowed the I think it was there's some setting like let the computer manage your bullpen. Once I specified the relief roles on each team, the saves started to pick up, or at least the closers that should have been getting the saves. So you can see some of these totals are suppressed, but I didn't want to start from scratch because I was already 2+ months into the season when I discovered that issue. So moving forward, I know how to deal with that now. NL pitching leaders, Doc Gooden, no shocker there, 1.83 ERA, 21 wins in his rookie season here. Charlie Lee, I know he pitched well in 84. Crew Cow, Whitson, Honeycutt in the ERA leaders there. And yeah, wins after Gooden, 17, 16. Save lead, Donnie Moore for the Braves, 22. Tied with Jeff Reardon of the Expos. Then we had Lee Smith, Goose Gossage, and Frank DePino. All right, MVP. AL MVP goes to Don Mattingly over Tony Armas, Dwayne Murphy, George Bell, and Mike Easler. AL Cy Young, very close race. Doyle Alexander gets it over Mike Witt, Jack Morris, Lamar Hoyt, Dave Stieb. Top 5. NL MVP race. Tim Rock reigns by 2 points. 2 votes over Juan Samuel, 4 votes over Mike Schmidt. And we got Ryan Sandberg, Dale Murphy in there as well. Doc Gooden dominated the NL Cy Young voting. Nolan Ryan, distant second, followed by Mike Krukow, Rick Honeycutt, Joe Niekro. And we'll look down here briefly, the who's hot, who's not. This is just the final few games of September. Who got hot here? And a little bit further down, hitting streaks, they're down to 0. Never mind. Yeah, okay. So let's go to the final. Let's see. Go to the reports. And we'll see if there were any. First, we'll see if there were any special events in September, and then we'll look at. We'll dive in a little further on the leaderboard view. Special events. Okay, a lot of walk-offs. All right. Home runs. Lance Parrish, 3-homer game. Willie Upshaw, 3-homer game. Grand slams. Willie McGee, 6-hit game. And the Cardinals had 23 hits. Let's click on that one real quick. Oh, it won't let me look at that. All right. That's fine. I think because I'm preparing for the postseason, so it won't let me drill down into these. That's no worries. All right. 6 RBIs, stolen bases. I did have a 4 stolen base game for Pettis there. Okay. Hits for cycle. Steve Balboni hits for the cycle. I think that was against me. In the park homer, Johnson. I think that's Randy Johnson, but not the pitcher. There was several Randy Johnsons in the early 80s. Rick Sutcliffe strikes out 13. No hitters. No no-hitters in September. Alright, so no real special events to jump into here. Let's go back to reports. Just out of curiosity, top pitching performances. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Doc Gooden, 102 game score. Okay. And back to reports. Let's look at leaders. I know we looked at the leaders on the season overview page, but let's just look at this here, see if there's any other interesting leaders here. Yeah, we already know that. So Butch Weiniger leading in on-base percentage. That's interesting to me. Mattingly leads in slugging. Okay. Okay. Plate appearances, at bats, stolen bases. Jack Perconte leads the league with 55 by 1 over Dave Collins. All right. Ricky Henderson fourth, but he definitely had a, what did he have in real life? I think 66 or something. Caught stealings, runs. Armas leads the league in runs. Mattingly in hits. Larry Parrish third in hits. Interesting. Mattingly leads the league in doubles, triples. Butler and Upshaw. This is the AL we're looking at here. Eddie Murray, 113 walks. Sack hits, sack flies. Okay, not. All right, here we go. NL. NL on base, Ozzie Smith, 431. Schmidt leads the league in slugging. No surprise there. Gary Carter in OPS. Yeah, Juan Samuel, 705 at-bats. Similar to what he did in real life there. Samuel with 74 steals beats Wiggins and Raines. Mookie with 52 and McGee with 49. Runs scored, Raines over Wiggins. So the Padres had Wiggins and Gwynn over 100 runs, but they failed to win their division. Gwynn with 211 hits. Marvell Wynn, 195. Interesting. Okay, Dale Murphy leads the league in doubles. Sandberg leads in triples. What else we got here? Ozzie Smith leads in walks. Well, he was the on-base leader, so that kind of makes sense. Samuel struck out 192 times. Okay. All right, so that's the batting leaderboard. Let's check the pitchers. Leaders in pitching. Here we go. All right, well, we already know about Witt. Alexander leads the league in whip. So we got on base, hits per 9, walks per 9, Ks per 9. Langston, his rookie year. Homers per 9. Mike Smithson with 276 innings pitched. Danny Darwin and Frank Tanana. Oh, look at all these Rangers with losses here. 18, 18, and 17. Wow. All right. Games. Looks about right. Games started. Witt with 12 complete games. Batters faced, runs, earned runs, strikeouts. Here we go. Witt, 211. Leading the way over Langston, Steve Morris, and Moore. Langston, 118 walks. Bill Kruger, 114. And Huff, 102. Smithson, 277 hits allowed. Neil Heaton, 268. Steeb, that's pretty high for Steeb, 263. Smithson, 45 dingers allowed. Let's see, anything else of interest here? Nope, we're down to the NL. John Denny with a sub-1 whip. Let's see, what else we got here? Homer 9, Ks per 9. And we got Kent Tekulve with 79 games. We've got Saves, batters faced. Let's get down here. Strikeouts, good. 271, 30 more than Fernando Valenzuela, and Nolan Ryan with an even 200. Tim Lawler leads the NL with 116 walks, Darling with 112, De Leon 110. Jerry Koosman allows 270 hits for the Phillies, Bob Knepper second with 250 for the Stros, and Mark W. Davis for the Giants, 29 homers allowed. Alright, so that's that. And yeah, I'm not sure if there's any other reports we need to look into here. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at overall team league batting and league pitching, right? That's not what I wanted. Wrong report. Team batting, team pitching. I think that's the one I want. Let's see. That's not the one that I want, but we can look at this briefly here. So again, I tried to come as close as possible to the actual plate appearances and at-bats for each player, plus or minus, say, 30, because just the way that some of the games played out, there were some guys that got a little bit fewer. I think Naren was one of my guys that I didn't get enough at-bats. And DeCinces, I think, got about 30 more at-bats than he actually had. But my offensive numbers all around were suppressed a bit, I would say. Beniquez, real life, hit about 330 or something, so he was down. Carew hit 295 in real life, hit 265 here. Downing, again, these were pretty close. Reggie had 25 homers in real life. Downing had 23, I think. DeCinces had 20. Yeah, real life Pettis had 48 steals. He got caught a lot for me for some reason, so wound up with 38. But I had some guys hit better than in real life. So Pettis hit a little bit better than he did. I think he was a 227 hitter. Yeah, Gritch hit below what he really hit. Schofield, 193 hitter, hit 204 for me. Boone was like a 202 hitter. He hit 231. So, yeah, kind of evens out, right? So anyway, this is a cool report. You can see, all of team by team, just go through the list. I'm not going to do all of these teams, but just as an example, and then you can sort it on the different, by batting or by homers. Or, yeah, so if I look at the, let's see, Astros by home runs. There, Jose Cruz, 13 homers, right? So let's go back up to here. And team pitching. And I will post this. I do have an article that'll be linked in the description for this video. Click on the article, you'll be able to see these reports here. So, as I'm not going to scroll through all of them on the video, but you will be able to see them. All right, so here I'm looking at the Angels. So let's sort it by ERA, for example. All right, so ignoring the guys that had few innings here. Obviously, Mike Witt with a 2.36, right? Um, I got good years in the bullpen out of Sanchez, Corbett, Ossie. So bullpen did well. At least those top three guys. Kurt Kaufman, that was about his actual numbers here. But Romanek, he had a 3.76 ERA, I think, in real life, so he was above. And then what really hurt me was Jeff Zahn, real life, had like a 3.12 ERA. Here he had a 4.36. Slayton and Tommy John just absolutely killed me here. Both of them near about a 6 ERA. And that was higher than real life, I think, by about a run apiece. So you can see, I think Slayton in real life was 7 and 10. Here he just got demolished. And again, because I'm doing as played, I do have to start him when he starts. So there was no like, oh, let me swap him out for somebody else. So anyway, again, not going to scroll through all these, but had a lot of fun with this. We're going to run the playoffs, so I'll have a separate video for that, and then we'll move on to the next season. So hope you're enjoying these. Until next time, keep playing ball. Take care, and we'll see you soon.